Welcome to Code Mania. Learn more, express more.
Hi everyone, this video contains very good demonstration regarding passing parameters in Visualforce Page application, where you can pass parameters via URL, via Apex Page, using Apex Param, Apex tag, and also you can get the parameter value from JavaScript variable. That means you can call any JavaScript method, you can get the variable whatever it is required, whatever it is returning from the method, or you can fetch the JavaScript variable value and store it in an Apex variable. So few examples which have been demonstrated into this video will help you to design your Visualforce Page application, where you will be using these utilities. So let's move on. These are the Apex tag which will be used in the next demonstrations, like Apex Param, and also to get the value from the URL we'll have to use page reference dot get param dot put param name comma value. I'll be demonstrating, and also to get from the JavaScript variable we'll have to use script. We'll have to write JavaScript code in between the script tags. Here is the Apex tag utility. So this param functionality is used to pass parameter from one Visualforce page to another, or from JavaScript variable, or to any input field, to any command link. So let's move with one very good example or demonstration. Here I'm designing one Apex page which will help you to understand the behavior of this Apex Param functionality, where first demonstration is about to use Apex Param. So I am designing one page block where I'll be placing number of fields of different data types, like text, number, date, different type of data types, and I'll be passing these values to another Visualforce page, and also will be receiving those values. So you can pass number, you can pass text, also you can pass date, time, everything you want from one page to another. So here placing one Apex tag as input, and giving data type as text, and this one is number. So like this I am placing number of data types. So here we have text field, we have number field, we have auto number field, email field, and date value and date time value. Now I am creating one controller which will and in the controller I'll be creating number of variable of type string, of type number, I mean integer, or of type date values, everything. Now if you want to use this apex input tag, you will have to set the doc type as HTML 5.0. so I am creating this apex class. Now I have to create number of variable, and to use this variable in the Visualforce page I'll have to use public, and this is the getter setter method. Now each and every variable which I have used as a value of this input field will have the getter setter method here, and the definite type here integer, and this is date. Auto number is integer. Now date value should be date, and this one should be well, I'm keeping this as string so for now. So these fields have been created. As you can see, if you move the mouse over, I have placed the title as which field what type. You can easily find out. Now this is date and time, so, and this is date. You can easily place the date here and place the date time here. Now I'll have to set the value. I have to create the constructor for this class. So before that, let's create one apex page block button. On click of this button, I'll be redirected to another page, and those parameter will be passed to that page. By calling this method. So the method has been created and button has been placed into this Visualforce page, and the just location is button. So only upper button location will not be available, only bottom. Now I am creating another page like this. So this page have been created. Now I'll be passing the value from this page to that page, this page, and for this I'll have to create some method into the controller. So for this I'll have to create one controller here. So this is the controller. Now on the constructor on the controller I'll have to create some methods to fetch the parameter from the URL. Before that I'll have to pass some parameter, pass the value of the parameter by a parameter from this page to that page. So I'm creating one page reference variable which will refer to this page, and putting the parameter with a particular name here. This page dot set parameters dot put variable name, parameter name, and the value. So, and we'll return this page. So this, it will be redirected to that page. So I'll have to set redirected to true. So that on calling of this method, the page is redirected to this page. Now I'll be putting number of value with the parameter, number of this field value to the parameter. So it should be variable name first, it should be email field. So whatever value will be written into this field will be passed from the URL. So you are just passing value from the URL. Now you have to set single quote as a variable name, parameter name, and comma and its value, because I have set the variable name as this, so there will be no quotation here, no single quote, and you will have to put comma here. Now you save it. So if you just click on this, call this method, you will have to pass the you will have to convert the value of this number to string by just writing string dot value of this variable name. So that will convert the number to string so that you can pass it to the from the URL. Now those are just string value, date, time, and date values, so it would not be a problem. Yeah, it should be date value. So now you save it. So if you just click on this button, it will pass those value via URL of this field. Now you just type some value here. Now I am creating the method in the second page. This is the second page where you will be receiving the value which have been passed from that URL, from that page. Now you are creating string is equal to apex dot apex pages dot current page dot get parameters dot get. So this is the method by which you can fetch this variable corresponding value from the URL address bar. So any value from the address bar will be received by this method. So you just have to write a variable name here and the variable which you will be receiving of the value. And everything would be in string format, whatever you will be receiving. So the data type should be string. If you want to convert it in a particular format, you will have to write it as a value of. Now I just want to receive those values and put it into a string. So what I'll be doing, I'm creating one list of string here, and adding those received value from the URL to this list, so that I can easily demonstrate how does it behave. Okay, in the constructor. Now I'll be creating one Apex page block table so that you can easily see when you receive the value. Now I'll be defining one Apex column. Here value is the list, and defining one var as a reference of this list. Now column value is if you click on this button, you can easily see that nothing has been received. Well, it should be capital P. Now if you save it and click on this value button, you can see still nothing has been received. So it should be, I should provide some value here. It's number type, it's a date type, email type, and this is date type, and this is date time. Click on the button. As I can see, everything has been received here. So it's a date time, it's the email, it's a number, it's an text field, this is auto number, everything has been received. So like this we can pass different types of parameter from one page to another. This is the Apex code, and this is the URL where the values have been passed, like this. As you can see now, this is the code where I have put the value. This is the input field. Now if you click on the button, it will be passed to next. This is how we can pass parameter from one page to another. We can receive the value and we can use it for future reference. Okay, I am just creating the value, creating the page from which I can access the value which have been passed from a JavaScript method. So this example is about to fetch the screen height and screen width which have been generated by JavaScript method and store it in an Apex variable. So I am creating one command button. Just refresh, that would be okay. And on click, it will call one JavaScript method. For example, set screen resolution. On this method, it's screen dot avail width, which will return the screen width, and screen dot height, this will return screen height. So these are JavaScript inbuilt method which returns screen width and screen height. I am just concatenating it with semicolon and it will return false. Now if I click on refresh, nothing will return. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to create one Apex action function, and for this action function it will have a name. So this action function will call this function name which have been written in JavaScript. So you can see that in command button the JavaScript method, that is set screen resolution. So this is the name of the JavaScript method that will be called by this action function method. So you will have to put the JavaScript method name in the action function name, and the action which will called the Apex method which will be written in controller Apex class. So I am creating this Apex class where I will be writing this Apex method pass parameter. So this method have been created. Now I am creating one constructor. In the constructor I'll be defining that variable where I'll be creating I'll be getting the value from this JavaScript method. Now before I do it, I'll have to create one Apex Param, which is one of the most important tag in Visualforce Page application to deal with these parameters. So Apex Param, which will have a name, for example P1, and the value should be initially null, and the assigned to value, so it should be a parameter name, the Apex variable name. So on calling on this action function, which is set screen resolution, the JavaScript method which have been written for this screen resolution method will be called, and the parameter which have been passed via this set screen resolution method, that is available width and available height, which have been concatenated with this semicolon value, will be called, and this value will be received by this Apex Param name as P1 and will be assigned to this parameter 1. Now I am creating one Apex page block to understand the behavior of this Apex Param here. And in between this Apex page block section, just placing this value so that I can easily understand what is being received by this Apex Param P1 and is being assigned to this Param 1. So available screen width and height, my objective is to receive those values and pass into this Apex Param. Now on calling on this action function, it will re-render this Apex page block section. Now within this page reference, I will be defining one array. So as this string, this param1 is receiving two values at a single instance concatenated with this semicolon, so I'll have to split it in an array and we'll be storing it in a list. So I'm splitting it and storing it in an array, that is A, which is type of array of string, and running a for loop by this. Now I'll be defining one list of string so that I can easily store those height and width in a list of string. If you are able to store any value in a list of string or map of string, you can easily use those value for future reference or any purpose. So list of param is equal to new list of string, and now I'll be adding those values into the list. Okay, now I try to save it. Oh, there is a problem. What is the problem? Okay, it should be AI. Or a dot get I. Okay, now I'll be understanding what is the problem, what is the behavior of this list. Wow, how this value is being stored in this list. And this is the string parameter. So on calling of this JavaScript method, it will fetch the value in the argument of this method and will be storing into the list. So these are the behavior. Now if I try to refresh, can I get the values? No, still not getting the values. Why? Oh, it has been available with, and it should be screen. Yes, now I think I can receive the values. Aren't me? Okay, now I am refreshing. Can I get the values? Yes. Can you see that values has been passed this way and it is being stored in a list. Now going with another example, we can see that we'll have to pass the value from this JavaScript method in different way. So how? I am just placing one comma so that I am passing two arguments in this JavaScript method, and I'll have to copy and paste. I'll have to place two param tag and two apex variable I'll have to define here. So if I click on this refresh button, it will call this action function and the JavaScript method will be called, and the JavaScript variables which have been placed for this JavaScript function in as an argument or as a parameter on this method will be stored into the Apex Param. So I am removing this for loop and adding those param value directly to the list. Okay, so I can easily understand how does this behavior working. So it will differently receive the parameters from the list, from the JavaScript function. Here this is the first parameter and this is the second parameter. This first parameter will be put into this first param and second param. So on the list of string I am adding first parameter and second parameter, and so you can easily find out the behaviors here. If I save it and try to click on refresh button, I will see that very clearly the parameters have been passed in a two different apex variable like this, and it has been assigned to param 1 and it has been assigned to param 2. So this is just few changes here. Param 1, param 2. Previously I was getting the value in a single parameter. Now I can receive it to different parameters. This is the Visualforce page code. Now what I am planning to do, I am planning to create one script, one JavaScript method in between the script, so that if I try to get any value by executing any JavaScript method in a JavaScript variable, I can easily pass it into the Apex variable. So here, for example, I have created two variables, where height, where width. Where height will receive the screen height and where width will receive the screen width. Now what I'll have to do, I'll have to create the function here. Fetch screen resolution, this function I am creating. And in this function I have this function name I have placed here. On click of this button, this function will be executing, and here in the Apex action function I have placed the name as this method, this name, and I am passing this two values as a parameter on this method. So this method will be called, and any value in between this method will be received into this two Apex param here, param 1 and param 2. So if I try to refresh, I can easily find out this. So this is how I can easily fetch any value from the JavaScript and place it into Apex variable. And I can reuse it, obviously. Like this, I can fetch the color name, I can fetch any kind of thing, any kind of values, everything. Now I have stored those values into the list by the same way, adding those values into the list. This was just a single change here, height and width, and it is passing into the JavaScript method, and the method is being called by this action function, and this action function param 1 and param 2 is receiving those values from the parameter. So on click on this command button, it will execute this. So this is how you can easily fetch the values from the JavaScript and use it in your Visualforce page for further application. Now for example, I am creating another value here, param 3. Here now I am creating one JavaScript var param 3 is equal to any kind of string value, string resolution. So I'll be passing this string value into the param 3 so that you can easily understand the behavior. Here param 3. You'll have to place this param 3 here. Okay, this is param 3 title. Here this should be 3. So if I save it and try to refresh it, you can see that the string which I have passed from this JavaScript variable has been received into the param 3. So you can easily, it's very interesting to receive the value from the JavaScript method and store it into the Apex variable. So you can easily use it in your Visualforce application for not only this related to screen available or screen this, you can easily use it for different purpose as well. Now I am creating this h1 tag so that you can easily find out a very good example of it. Now I am creating dynamic style here, color is equal to this param 3. Well, this should be colon here. Now if you save it and try to refresh it, you can find out that it has been made as dynamic. So if I write here blue and save it, you can refresh it, you can see that this has been written in blue. So this is how you can pass the parameter, fetch the parameter from JavaScript variable, and you can use it, store it into your Apex variable. Now going for another example where you can pass the value via command link. So I am creating one page block table which will get all the accounts details. So using this account details, I'll be able to search via Google. For example, you have one account and you want to get the location, you want to get the name details, so you'll have to search it via name to Google. So it will just automatically fetch the values and will search it to the Google. Let's see how do we accomplish this requirement or this task. Here creating one page block table which will get the values of account via record set var, and apex column header value, this header value account name, and it should have a value. So I'll be placing number of details here. It should be account phone, account search link via name, and account website title, website. Now here output text as account name, and account phone, now it should be output link, and in this link the search should be this way, account name. So output link value should be google.com, and the apex param should be account so this hash queue will have the account website, go to this URL. Yeah, that should be value should be account name. Yeah, that should be name. Now if you try to save it, oh, that should be Apex column should be 1. Anyways, you can see that those links are available. Oh, it should be formulary sign here. Now everything is available, and this column should be 1. Okay, now I have the full width. So if I try to click on any link, account search, it will be searched via account name for each and every entry into the column. Now if I click on target as blank, it will be opened in a new tab. If I save it and click on any account name, it is opened in a new tab and the account is searched into the Google. Okay, if you click on any link, for example Code Mania, so it will be available into the Google. This every command link which have been passed via this Apex Param, it will be available. So this is the simple code. Now you have been demonstrated number of examples. So if you find this video useful, please subscribe this channel and spread this channel to your friends and everyone who is interested to learn coding. Thank you very much. Enjoy the coding.